So let's try now creating a displacement map from this model that I have sculpted. At the moment, the information that I have is just pure sculpture. I'm not doing any. I don't have any color information on it. Although I have the layers, but they are not active. So I'm going to export out the um, the displacement map on it, and just to recognize what is in this object. This object has been modeled. Already it's all collapsed, but it has 6 levels of modeling, meaning it went up to very very high level of detail. And I'm going to export it out. Let's see if I can get it back to show up. There it is. And so I'm going to go and so simply say export while I'm still on level 6, so I'm the highest level right now. I'm going to create a new operation, and in this case I'm going to do a displacement map. The displacement map is going to go from the target model is going to be my level 0, and of course the source model is going to be my level 6. Methods and divisions, I'm going to make it a 2048 by 2048. Texture is what I want. 8-bit would do enough, and I'm just going to save my name here. I'm just going to save it to my source images folder under my Maya project, and I'm just going to call it monster displacement here. And as a PNG will work just fine. So I'm going to save that, and then I'm going to extract. You will see that there is a lot of exaggeration in my sculpting, right? So that's what it did. It just went through the process. Hopefully it finished it. And still thinking it's a heavy model. Okay, there it is, successfully finished. Now I'm going to go and double check that file on my drive here. Try to go back to my folder. And let me just find it somewhere in my list here. Is, if I'm not wrong, this is it. Let's double check it. No, I believe it's this one. Let me just make sure that it is. Probably it is. So I'm gonna try to find it. Let me just try to kill this. I'm just going to open up my Maya program, and I have it right there open. And to render this out, we're not gonna put any color on it just to be able to see the displacement map. So I'm gonna create a shader again. And in this case, I'm gonna use just simply standard shader. In this one, I'm gonna just use no presets, and I'm going to use to change it skin rock. I'm going to keep the color base white and specular. Going to keep it the way it is because I'm just going to simply going to connect the displacement with no normal map, just a displacement. So I'm going to go to my shader group. I'm going to click my shader group, connect the displacement map there, and connect the file. There is my node, and then this one is the node that will give me the access to that file. and the file is one that I have here. Gotta make sure I have the right one because I have another version of it and I don't want to use the one that here is. Okay, so that one, let me just assign that shader to my object, to my creature. There we go. Let me create a, or better, turn on the node attributes for the subdivisions, which will allow me to do the displacement. I'm gonna just use cat Clark again. I'm gonna use iterations of 4 to start, and displacement value I'm gonna try 0.5 to see how much it gives me. And let's just create quickly here and sky dome, which will give me a good lighting for the scene. And I'm just gonna grab one sky dome here. Try to get one that this one might do it. There we go. This one has some good lighting in it. And I'm gonna just go ahead and give it a try. It's thinking. It's gonna take a few seconds to get there, probably around 30 to 40 seconds, I think. So there is, I can see my object showing some of that detail. Let me just try to get a bit closer to it. It's not as much as I would like it to do. I'll try rendering that view there. So it is using, of course, the information that comes from the displacement. It's not going as high as I would like it to do, especially when I saw so much detail on my object in Mudbox. So we can need just very little there. So I think at this point there are multiple things we can try. Of course, if I can get the iteration number, I will increase my my level of precision. But I'm gonna just try to go up. It's too little what I'm getting here, so I'm gonna go with a height here. Let's see. Let me try 2.5. I'm just gonna go very dramatic with it, while I have iterations of 4 to see if that makes a difference. I'm gonna keep iterations of 4 as much as possible to prevent from going too slow my rendering. So let me see if this makes a difference. Let me just pause my recording here so while it is calculating. So there it is. It just took a few seconds to start cranking up and showing those rocky looking materials. If I go 5 on my iterations, I probably will get a little bit less of an effect, but a sharper result. So, but I think I can try to correct this. I'm gonna just save this file, save this here. I'm gonna use one incremental and save my file just in case. And I'm going to go back to Mudbox to export out a normal map to see if I can match it or punch some more effects with the normal map, and that way I can go a bit better with it. So I'm just going to do and say extract texture maps. I'm going to do a new operation. I have a bunch of operations already done, but I'm going to create a new one. This one's going to be a normal map. Same thing, level 0 to level 6, 1024, 2048 by 2048, and I'm going to save it Maya software texture. Make sure that it's going to the right location. Yes, I'm using location. I'm gonna call it monster underscore normal underscore. I'm gonna put that little number there just to make sure that I don't feel confused with another one that I have done before. So I'm just gonna say extract, and just give it a second for it to calculate. So you can tell that I have a very exaggerated environment. There it is. Just finally finished it. Very exaggerated texture there. Let me try to see if I can punch a bit more my effect here. So I'm just gonna connect all my geometry, the normal map. Alright, let me just change the view here so I can see the name a bit more easily. Monster normal address. Okay, and let me just make sure that the bump is being read as a normal map. And for now I'm just gonna try testing it to see how that works. And it's not really doing what I would like it to do. It's kind of pushing some values in the wrong direction. Kind of liked it better as it was as a just displacement. I'm just trying to press 6 on my keyboard to see if I can find a way to improve it. It's sort of doing it, but it's not doing enough. So I think that I'm going to crank up the height a bit more, say 3.5, so I can punch a little bit more of the height before I try the radiations. I just worry about going too high. If we go to 5, it's going to slow down my render quite a bit. So I'm just very apprehensive of doing that. If you need to, you'll go, and that will make it a bit better, but you have to measure. So you see that the 3.5 pushed it a lot more low, making it a lot more bubbly too. So you gotta decide which one is, how much is it that is a good number for you, because of course his eyelids are becoming a little bit too much, and you need to figure it out how much is good for you. And if you need to reconnect maybe bring it down, let's say to 3, and reconnect the normal map, but maybe instead of using a 1, I'm going to use a 0.5. That just helps a little bit with the quality of it, and not making it too drastic. And of course we don't have any color applied to this one, so you might want to go back and of course connect the color texture to it, or the specular also, or incandescence, or whatever else you may have on it. Right now this is okay, it's not ideal, but it kind of helps a little bit with some of the noise that the material may have. You may be surprised when you get to see it in with color next to it or applied on it. It will look a lot better. Alright, I'm gonna just leave it right there, and hopefully this is going to help you with being able to get your creature looking good in terms of texturing, in terms of using Mudbox to create good displacement map. It's gonna just let it finish rendering this little side. I'm gonna stop it there. Alright, there it is. Alright, alright.